Hello, everybody. Buddy with Midland, Texas. I'm going to do a little video today about an update on the Hailey Dunn murder. They have the former boyfriend of the stripper mom, Billy Dunn, arrested and charged with Hailey's murder, saying he bashed her head in over in Scurry County, and that's not what happened. But anyway, Atkins' high-profile murder trial delayed. The murder trial of Sean Atkins has been delayed and will now be held in late summer in Nolan County. Okay. According to court documents, the Sean Atkins trial has been reset after a continuance was granted and the case moved from Mitchell County to Nolan County. Remember, I had contacted the Mitchell County DA, sent them registered letters and all that. Now it's moved to Nolan County. And the trial proceeding will now take place on either August 7th or September 11th, 2023. So it's coming up. And so here, I did a couple Facebook posts here within the last couple of days on this, and they're real short. I think you're going to find this real interesting. Here, the first one that says, I spoke with people that saw and spoke with Hailey Dunn in Odessa before she was overdosed, so I'm 100% sure that's what happened to her. 3 people said that the murder of Hailey and the murder of Cody Mercer, another unsolved murder out of Odessa, were connected, and they were filmed, and the police took the recordings. 3 people. And it's become clear there are people trying to cover up what really happened to Hailey Dunn. It reminds me of the blatant and extreme cover-up that has gone on when criminals broke into my home and shot me. Facts, evidence, and truth is ignored, and it doesn't matter if it's the murder of a child or the murder of one homeowner after another. I believe the reason behind these injustices is due to the underground homes in Midland and the parties held there, the oil show parties. This picture was taken 2 days before this little girl was reported missing. Several people said that happened because of a drug debt that the stripper mom owed Billy Dunn. Hailey was taken, that's alleged stripper mom. Hailey was taken to the Odessa to be pimped out. That was in a recorded phone call, is what was said. This is what led to her being overdosed. I'm not okay with that, and I don't know how any decent person is. And I'm going to show you a picture. This is taken 2 days before Hailey was kidnapped. And this is Sean, who they have right now charged with murder, saying he bashed her head in Scurry County when she was overdosed in Odessa. There's the mom. We found out by 2 different people told me she was a stripper at the time. A lot of people think, well, strip club's a good place to find gang members and meth, and that's what it was said that Hailey was kidnapped over, because the mom owed money for meth. Okay. Now, on the other one I said, and this is I think this is super interesting. It's just one of the 10 people I've documented. 10 people said they shaved her head. Talking about Hailey's head. After I made and released my first Hailey Dunn video, there was a lot of talk on Facebook about Hailey Dunn. That was in 2016, I think. A woman named Terrin Thomas wrote, I think it's safe to say that we all know that her mom, stepdad, as well as Hailey were on dope. This confirmed what I was told by the drug rehab counselor, Kristi Otts, who said that Bret Bushman told her that Hailey was kidnapped because her mom owed money for meth. Sonja Rene Callahan said that Hailey was being kidnapped and it was being held as collateral for a family drug debt. That was reported by Newswest 9. It was a letter that she wrote. And Allison Frazier said that Kevin Rickman told her that they kidnapped Hailey over a drug debt. They were going to pimp her out and get their money back. And that's what they did. Terrin also said they had Hailey for a good while. Hailey knew who had her, and it wasn't a hostage situation. People said that they heard people had gone to the house while she was there, and she was walking around like it was her house. What was weird is I heard from more than 10 people that they shaved her head like 2 weeks before she supposedly overdosed. Why shave her head if you ain't trying to hide her? Now, supposedly, she is buried in that same house's backyard. Terrin wrote that on my Facebook. I posted a copy of it. Private investigator Brenda Allison, that's not right, it's Brenda Paradise, said that no hair was found on Hailey, and Allison confirmed that Hailey's head was shaved in another conversation. I believe this to be true, but seriously doubt that more than 10 people, which Terrin spoke about, were ever talked to by investigators. See, I don't think they're doing any investigation on this. This lady is on record, on Facebook, provable. Here's what she said. It's that 10 people knew that she shaved her head over in Odessa. See how that messes it up, their story, that Sean bashed her head in over in Scurry County? It don't make any sense. It's easy to see why, too. They've tried to cover up this murder and not solve it. After I made this public, Terrin Thomas changed her story and said she made it all up and threatened to sue me for taking screenshots of what she had said. I would think if you were intentionally spreading made-up stories about the murder of a child, then you could be charged with obstruction of justice. But I don't believe that's what happened. My guess is that she felt threatened, Terrin felt threatened, after figuring out that the police were not trying to solve this murder, but were actually covering up the murder of this child. Terrin wasn't the only person that I documented with information about Hailey Dunn that later changed her story when the police did nothing. I wonder if law enforcement ever even talked to Terrin Thomas. There's no doubt about that law enforcement is covering up the murder of Hailey Dunn. This explains why drug rehab counselor Kristi Otts went from bragging about giving me information about Hailey Dunn to saying that I ruined her life. At least she didn't change her story like Terrin did. Here's the print screen. I'm going to show you it. They can subpoena Facebook and go, did Terrin Thomas write this on this date? Yes, she did. And it's exactly what I read there. They had Hailey for a good while. Heard from more than 10 people. They shaved her head like 2 weeks before she supposedly overdosed. Now, keep in mind, Terrin didn't say 2 weeks before her head was bashed in Scurry County by Sean. She didn't say that. Why? Because that didn't happen. Now, supposedly, she was buried in that same house's backyard in Odessa, okay? This is only one of many people documented saying that Hailey was killed in Odessa, I got a couple comments that I thought was interesting on that. Here's the first one I wrote. I said, this is the threat that I got from Terrin Thomas after I reshared what she had told me about the Hailey Dunn murder. It just makes sense that if a person intentionally made up and spread false stories about the murder of a child, then you could be charged with obstruction of justice. It's a low-life thing to do, but I don't believe that's what happened. My guess is that Terrin felt threatened, and I understand that with these huge public corruption problems. And smearing my name has gone on since they shot me with my phone lines cut. But remember, I'm the guy that said I was shot with burglar alarms gone off in the attic and then found more than 50 other people who had reported people in the attic. Those life-destroying lies to cover up violent crimes no longer work. I've joked before, maybe I should have tried to find 100. Would that be convincing enough? 50 isn't convincing enough for you? I shared this story with multiple law enforcement groups, including Sean's lawyer, and I didn't get a single reply back. It is just unbelievable what's going on. This is what Terrin Thomas wrote me after I shared what she posted on my Facebook. She says, listen, you stop posting my name all over the G-damn time. Every time you do, I get dozens of my friends sending me screenshots and messages. At first, I didn't care because this shit was bogus. You are a joke. People add you, fuck with you because you are literally the epitome of gullible and you believe them. I've literally left over 20 comments on your statuses with bogus stories I pull out of my ass and you believe them 90% of the time. You zone in on 2 comments and blast my name for months. If the cops thought you or that story was credible, that you would be at my house already asking questions. See, she's saying they never even come and talk to her. Then they would see it goes nowhere. I also told you prostitutes were being brought in through those tunnels under the house to work during the day, walk all the way back to Mexico at night, and you told me that's very possible. I did not. I don't even know what she's talking about. I've already spoken to my attorney, Justin Lowe, and he informed me that there are a couple charges I could press on you after I read in this message. You continue to post my name and profile pic. If all you have compiled in your quest for some girl's murder is someone's comments on your Facebook page, then you're grasping at straws. Let the cops do their job. I'm sure they have a lot more credible evidence than some conspiracy theorists who have nothing more to do than peek out his blinds 24/7 and make Facebook statuses. You must live a very lonely and miserable, paranoid life. I'm gonna pray for you that you find that screw that you lost. Okay, so she's calling me crazy, right? And trying to threaten me with this lawyer, okay, Justin Lowe, okay, and then Allison Frazier, and Allison is kind of interesting because she's one of the people that said she talked to Hailey over there in Odessa, right? And I bet you the police didn't even talk to her either. Terrin, tell me one thing. She just read that, and she says, Terrin, tell me one thing. Are you just that good at guessing facts? Because Allison knows her head was shaved too. Or is it that you want people to believe these days? Bitch, you better be glad I don't live there no more. Lawyer my ass, sorry ho. And I replied and I said, thank you, Allison. She's taking up for me. It's easy to see that Terrin knew where Hailey was at before she was killed. If only we could find some police that were not trying to cover up the murder of this little girl. And Allison says, it's sad. Earthly justice would be great against all involved. And that's right. We know that they're gonna answer to God someday for what they're doing here and what they've done, and to me, Hailey, and all these other crime victims, and using these corrupt police that are covering up crimes and murders connected with the underground homes. This is Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.